Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who is new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video where I am going to show you how I fix broken shadows in my palettes. Now, if you know me just a tiny little bit, you know that I've been speaking about that quite a bit, that I have that happening all the time because of where I'm located in the world and maybe also just some bad luck, I don't know, but a lot of palettes arrive me broken at some extent, in some way, okay? Usually it is like one shade or two, sometimes it is even more, sometimes I can fix it, sometimes it is just completely out of fixing possibilities. It is just, you know, but things have gotten a little bit better, I have to say, but still that is the reason that I had to kind of develop a skill in how to fix my palettes, because I cannot ever send anything back, okay? This is a very, very huge privilege that, for example, people in the US have, that they can send makeup back even if they have tried it already. I don't think that is anywhere else in the world, correct me if I'm wrong, but in Europe definitely not, and in the Middle East where I live, most definitely not. You know, you buy it, it's on you. Okay, so that is that. So today I'm going to show you how I fix my broken shades. Now there are, I'm sure, 100 million other ways. I'm just going to show you what works for me and how I've been doing it, okay? Usually it comes out looking really, really good, you know, or at least decent enough so I can still do flat lays and pictures like that, product photo shoots with the products. So let's see what happens today. It also depends a little bit also on the quality of the makeup. So with all of that being said, if you've just found me, I'm Leorah. I'm a makeup artist and stylist. I'm living for colorful makeup and colorful styling. And of course, feel free to check out my channel with all my content and also my social media, which is linked in the description box down below for more looks and for more inspiration. And then subscribe, because I would absolutely love to have you here as part of my tribe. All right, sweeties, I'm going to use the following palette. This is the palette that I'm going to use today. This was sent to me by Beautify Mary, and she sent me this palette. I honestly don't even know what this palette is called. I don't believe it has like a real name. If there is a name, I'm gonna put it here on the screen, but I think there was not like a real name. Okay, so this is a palette from Beautify Mary. I got this in PR, and this is a palette that arrived broken. Okay, so let me just try to open this, because ever since I have long nails, I always need tools for everything. And I hope this is not going to backfire when I'm going to try to film for you how I'm fixing my palettes, because I'm going to be kind of handicapped. Okay, sweeties, so this is how the palette looks from the inside. I don't know how much you will be able to see right now, because I cannot really tilt it up, but this shade is broken, which is a golden shimmer, and also this one, which is kind of a gray kind of a shimmer, that is also broken. Okay, so these two shades will have to be fixed. I actually, this is not the palette that I'm wearing today. I did try to begin a look with this palette, sweeties. After I put on this shade, which is the light blue matte here, I was like, it's not a light blue, it's kind of a medium-ish blue. I was like, no, I'm sorry, this is not worth my face. I'm so sorry, that sounds so bad, but I also need to just take care of myself and watch myself what I'm doing, because I have a lot of stuff to work with where I think, well, I'm going to enjoy this and this is going to be good for me. Sorry, I always want to treasure and also honor PR, because I think it is a privilege that is being given to me, but if it is not good, I'm not going to use it, you know, because I don't owe anyone anything, you know? So that is unfortunately the case. So after I fix the palette, this is probably gonna go to my children to play, because I think this is where it belongs. Sorry to say, but completely honest. Okay, sweeties, that is what it is. So I hope you will find this helpful, because I'm sure that it happens to some of you too, that sometimes shades, of course, arrive broken. And the same works also with blushes or with highlighters. It's not only for eyeshadows, okay? So without further ado, let me just change my setup a little bit so I can show you top down what I'm doing, and then of course we're going to go right into it. Okay, sweeties, here we are. This is the first time that I'm using a setup like this. I hope this works for you. Just know that I'm filming this part of the video now with my phone, so that's why also the audio might be influenced, okay? Just so you know. Okay, so you can of course see these two shades that are broken here, and yeah, the nails I've done myself. Never mind, they're not perfect, but it's okay, because I'm in the middle of actually learning how to build nails and how to do all of this. Okay, sweeties, so what do you need? You basically need some simple tissue paper. You do need some alcohol, which is, okay, so this is Hebrew writing, but it says alcohol 70% in Hebrew and then also in English. I hope you can see this, that the autofocus is focusing. Okay, and then what you need is a syringe just to take out the alcohol, you know, from the bottle, and something like a toothpick or something that is something similar. Now I'm using usually either a toothpick or something like this, which is just a tool from nail art, but anything that is small basically can work, because you kind of use it as a spoon in a way, you know, to just work with it. Okay, so as long as the shade is still somewhat, let's just focus on this one here. Sorry. Okay, so let's just focus on the golden one here for now. As long as the shade is still more or less within the pan, you're in a good place. Okay, so let's just start by just breaking it down a little bit more, because like that you will be able to just distribute the alcohol much more evenly, and that will in the end just give a better result than just pour it on and let it soak in, you know, just by itself. Okay, so basically that's what I'm doing. I'm just breaking it down gently. Of course there will be some loss, but never mind. Okay, so that is basically the first step how I'm doing it. Okay, you do not have to go like all the way in the depth and like, you know, go crazy. You do not have to do that, but that is how I do it. Okay, now I'm opening the alcohol, which I'm doing while you're not seeing it. Okay, it is here. Now I'm just taking out with the syringe some of the alcohol. Now I cannot tell you how much of alcohol you need to put in, because it depends on the pen size, and also sometimes shades break that are not full anymore, you know? So it kind of depends a little bit. So I'm just going to squeeze out a few drops. Not like super much, but these pans are pretty big. They're kind of like the big Juvia's Place pen sizes. And then I'm just going to try to mix it in, you know, just a little bit, and to see if it already starts to become like a little bit more smooth. In this case, it doesn't. So I'm just going to pour in some more. As you can see, oops. Yeah, that happens. But in this case, it's not even so bad, because it's plastic packaging. It's not even cardboard. So otherwise I would wipe it away. This spill here, I would wipe it away immediately. But in this case, it really doesn't matter. Plus, as you know, this is going to go to my kids anyway, and they don't care. All right, sweeties, this is what it is. But you can see now it turns into like the consistency of like pureed baby food. And that is kind of what you want. Because like that, all the ingredients mix well, and like the ingredients of the eyeshadow mix well. And by the way, it works the same for matte eyeshadows. You know, I use exactly the same technique. All right, so that is what I'm doing. I'm just kind of smushing it around a little bit in order to distribute the alcohol evenly. And basically, that's all you need to do. Sometimes you just wait a minute or two for the alcohol to soak through everything. It's kind of like when you're cooking, you know, and you're making like ground beef and you're putting on breadcrumbs and stuff, and you kind of wait till it all gets mushy. That is sort of the principle that I'm following here, you know, so cooking channel. Okay, so I'm just wiping off my tool on the tissue paper. And now I'm taking that tissue paper, all right, and I'm just putting it on top of here, okay? So I'm just rubbing over it slightly with my finger. And then what you can do, and it really depends again on the pan size, but you can see already the alcohol is soaking out of the pan basically into the tissue paper. And when you lift it up, you see that there is not a whole lot of the product itself soaked into the tissue paper. So usually you do not have a super big loss there, okay? So I'm just taking a different place, and I'm just doing the same thing. And just kind of pressing it gently into place, you know, back into place. Now, what you can do is, and again, that is where I had stopped talking. Now it depends on your pan size and also on the shape, because sometimes, of course, you have squares and whatever. I'm just changing the tissue paper to a different one. It's the same kind, it's just a different color. And now when you have something like, for example, I have, for example, these bottles of essential oils, you know, and sometimes I just use the top part here or whatever, sometimes also the bottom part, but here in the bottom part, the rim is a little bit higher than the inside, so I cannot really use this part. So I'm just now to show you what I mean, I'm just going to use this part because it is completely flat, as you can see, like this. Okay, so I'm going to use that basically as kind of a stamp, you know, to just press it into place. Okay, maybe I should just close it all the way, that would help. Okay, so this is rosemary essential oil, but it works also with fennel. It works with whatever. Okay, so basically I'm just pressing it like this onto the pan through the tissue paper, and you can see that there is of course more alcohol seeping into the tissue paper. And when you check here, it already looks way more decent. And this is what I'm repeating till I feel like, okay, so now I did a respectable amount. You do not have to do this till all the alcohol is soaked out. You will just leave the palette in a safe space open for a couple of hours, and then it's all done, you know? That is basically the whole secret. There is nothing really more to know. The only thing that is left to know is basically now you just clean up the rest of the pan. Now, I was not 100% careful now because, as you can see, a rim has been built up here now, which is maybe not the prettiest ever. Because I guess I pressed too much on this side instead of also focusing on this side. Let me just take another piece of tissue paper. I'm just folding it down a little bit, and maybe I can just fix it a little bit more in just pressing down on this side a little bit more. You kind of have to feel your way through this and see where is the rim, which way you have to go, all of these things. All right, so let's see how it looks now. It's already much better. You see? So this is how it looks now, and basically after that you just have to clean up the rest of the fallout. Now I'm just doing this now with my hand a little bit, but of course you can also use a, I don't know, cotton wipes or whatever you have. And basically you have repressed your shadow, and that is all there is to it. You know, you just let it sit like that to dry down completely so the whole alcohol and everything can evaporate. And after that, you will be able to just use it regular like you would use any other eyeshadow. So that is what it is. I'm going to, of course, fix also the other broken shade, but I'm going to do that off camera. But it is exactly the same thing what I'm doing with the other shade. So I hope that helped you. And let's go back to the studio, Leorah.
Alright, sweeties, I hope you found this helpful. Of course, as always, let me know down in the comments what you think, and don't forget to check out my description box because, as I already said in the beginning, there's basically all the information that you need about me, and also, of course, all my links to social media. I have tons of codes with different brands that they have offered to me. In case you want to save some money, feel free to use them or not, whatever you decide to do. My today's makeup will be also, of course, listed in the description box. And with all of that, please don't forget to subscribe before you leave and come back for my next video, which is going to be super soon. And up until then, definitely go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses. Bye.